Hey TikTok. Hey YouTube. Y'all. Oh my God. Did y'all see that plantation? I think it was in Ohio. The one of the oldest antebellum plantations. Beautiful, beautiful home. It burned down. It burnt to the ground. Now, y'all, I do feel like that's history that I didn't want to erase, but they didn't see anybody put it on fire. So my thing is, the ancestors were at work. The ancestors are tired of this. The ancestors are like, we're not begging America for another thing. And that's why, y'all, in the black community, you see us starting to build our black wealth, pulling it together so that we can help one another. Because we know America, when we were brought here, and those of us, and there were free blacks here too now. They don't teach that. Those are the freedmen that they talk about. But it was free blacks here too. But we're not asking permission anymore to live our lives and to live our lives in the way that we want to. Yes, the majority of us belong to the Democratic Party, but what a lot of the liberal white women of the Democratic Party have to understand now, you're not going to define us on how we should be doing our thing in the party. We're going to collectively vote for things that are good for all of us. And if they're not, we're not. And that's just the way it is. Our times are changing. And that's one of the good things. That's why I say this was from a divine, this was from the ancestors that Trump got into office. This was from God. He kept showing us, and showing us, and we kept cosplaying with him. And now he's showing us our disparities. And mainstream media still is not talking about it. But they don't have to, because it's like 90% of black people on the day that Trump won decided enough. We're not waiting for anything else. We work. We're going to do our big one. And that's just the way it is. And we had there's a nurse I think she was out of Georgia, young nurse, went to the emergency room, not to the hospital she works at, went to another emergency room with a bad headache. They sent her home. Darn, it got in my coffee. They sent her home, y'all, with pain medicine. And she later, from my understanding, I posted a still of it a couple of days ago. She later had an aneurysm. They found out she was 9 weeks pregnant. And so they've kept her on the ventilator until they can deliver her baby, which they said the fetus more than likely is not going to survive. That they think it's missing a brain because, missing this brain. And the body will keep surviving as long as they keep her alive. But the minute it's out, it'll only live maybe 5-6 minutes at the most. So now you're putting this black family through double pain. This young lady was a nurse. She was doing for others. And in Georgia, because of that silly heartbeat law, the family has to endure that. And her little boy thinks that she's alive and she's just asleep. Can you imagine what's going to happen? That's going to make him so adverse towards hospitals as he gets older if they don't get him therapy, because he's going to think that the hospital did this. And the hospital did do it, but not that hospital. The hospital set it in motion. And that's when we talk about so many black women die from childbirth. So many black women die while being pregnant because you have so many doctors, white doctors, that do not understand our bodies, and they just brush us off. Oh, she's just talking. She's just talking. I never will forget what one of my sons. I started bleeding. Went to the hospital, and at that time, the kind of job I did was a lot of pulling and tugging and stuff. And I never will forget, they told me, if I'm going to lose the baby, I'm going to lose it anyway. Just go on and go back to work. I'll never forget that day. That's what they said. Just go on and go back to work. I decided I'm going to take off. And luckily I was able to do it at that time. And so I just took off I went to a black hospital in Tennessee. And they told me, you're going to stay on bed rest. You're not to go back to work. That's what happened. So you see what I'm saying? If you don't have people in a facility that look like you, no matter how well-meaning the facility is, you're not going to get the care that you need. And so, guys, this is what you're seeing right now with black people deciding we're going to take care of us. Excuse me, y'all got hiccups. We're going to take care of us. We're going to be unapologetic about it. We know that we belong to a larger society, but we also know that we're marginalized in society, and not by everybody. Not by everybody, by no means. I know too many good white people, so by no means. But what I'm saying is, where so many of you all had a foot up and a hand up from the very beginning, look how they did the Afrikaners. They showed us right there how America gives whites the foot up and the hand up. And we're not begrudging that. Do your big one. But don't begrudge us when we're trying to do our big one. And we are pulling it up by the bootstraps. So many times, Rosewood, Black Wall Street, white people have came and taken it away. Now, you can't physically do that now because we all strapped. So you can't do that. But I'm just saying, don't begrudge us, because our ancestors are not going to allow it. They're not. And not to my people that watch me every day, because my people that watch me every day, baby, we are part of the Poor People's Revolution, and let's get at it. I'm talking about those others, those haters that comment every now and then. Now, I don't get too many comments because I'm so hateful. You know, I'll come back and it's going to be nasty. But the others. But y'all, that's what I wanted to say this morning. There is a thing as black disparity in the United States of America, and it's okay if we talk about it. That doesn't mean that other people are bad, because you do have other bad people in all races, but you have more in control in America, in the white race. You know what I mean? And we got to be able to talk about it. If you don't talk about your problems, you can't get through it. I didn't mean for this video to be that long, y'all. I see I'm almost at 8 minutes. From an angry black woman out of Tennessee, let's get out the mud. Don't worry about cancel culture. Y'all have a good Saturday. Honey, it rained something terrible here in Tennessee last night. Tornadoes, storms, just a mess. But y'all, I was thinking we might have to go out the tiny house into the main house. But y'all have a good one, y'all. America was built from the bottom up, never the top down. Here back. Welcome to the Poor People's Revolution.